What if the brightest star Hollywood ever knew wasn't chased away by scandal, but by a secret so profound it rewrote her destiny? Debra Winger, the fearless rebel who burned up the screen in Urban Cowboy and battled legends like Shirley MacLaine, vanished at the height of her fame. Poof, gone, no trace. 3 Oscar nods, a trailblazer for women in film, and then silence. Now, after decades in the shadows, she's back, unrecognizable, with a transformation that's left jaws on the floor. Was it heartbreak, betrayal, or a hidden truth that drove her away? This isn't just a comeback. It's a story of defiance, sacrifice, and a twist so shocking, it'll change how you see Hollywood forever. Stick with us because you won't believe what Debra Winger's been hiding all these years. Her grandparents called her Mary, steeped in Jewish tradition, while her parents chose Debra, dreaming of silver screen glory. By 5, she's in California, a bright kid in a quiet family, secretly obsessed with acting. She ate school, graduating at 15, but kept her dreams locked away, studying criminology instead. Then, at 17, disaster hit. Working at an amusement park, she reached for a falling prop, and bam, a truck swerved, hurling her off. Brain hemorrhage, temporary blindness, half her body paralyzed. Doctors doubted she'd recover fully. Lying there, helpless, she struck a deal with herself. If I get through this, I'm chasing my dream. She did, and Hollywood wasn't ready for what came next. Winger stormed into Hollywood like a survivor with nothing to lose. Minor TV gigs barely paid the bills, and her first film, a forgettable low-budget flick she'd later dodge questions about. She was too raw, too real for the polished roles they offered. But in 1980, Urban Cowboy changed everything. Sissy Spacek passed, Michelle Pfeiffer auditioned, but Winger's wild edge won director James Bridges over. She owned that screen opposite John Travolta, sparking her rise to fame. An Officer and a Gentleman followed, with her and Richard Gere clashing so hard she called him a brick wall. Yet their tension birthed an iconic romance and her first Oscar nod. Terms of Endearment. A battlefield with Shirley MacLaine, their real-life feud fueling a masterpiece. Winger's second nomination came, but MacLaine won, smirking, "I deserve this." Her star burned bright, yet behind the scenes something darker brewed. What could push a talent like that to the edge? Then, in 1995, she dropped the bombshell. She was done. No warning, no meltdown, just gone. At her peak, after Shadowlands earned her a 3rd Oscar nod, she walked away. Was it the clashes with co-stars? Her romance with Timothy Hutton? The Oscar-winning heartthrob she met in 1983? Fizzling out after Electric years? Or maybe the industry's refusal to embrace her unfiltered honesty? Fans speculated, but Winger stayed silent, retreating to a life few could imagine. Fast forward to now. She's re-emerged, unrecognizable, sparking whispers of dramatic developments. Did Hollywood betray her, or did she outsmart it? Her journey's next twist might just be the juiciest part yet. Let's dive into the luxe life she built. Winger's fortune peaked in the millions, and she lived it up. Quietly. Luxury cars? Think a gleaming Porsche 911 Turbo for city vibes, and a rugged Land Rover Defender for escapes. Her wrist flashed with high-end watches, Rolex Daytonas and vintage Omegas, subtle but pricey. Real estate was her game. A chic Malibu beach house, a New York penthouse, and a sprawling upstate ranch for solitude. A private jet? You bet. A Gulfstream G650 for cross-country hops. But she wasn't just splashing cash. She invested in indie films, co-produced passion projects, and even launched a discreet production company that raked in steady profits. Collaborations with up-and-coming directors kept her in the game, minus the spotlight. And after that early health scare, insurance was non-negotiable. Comprehensive health plans, asset protection for her homes, and career policies to shield her earnings. Debra Winger's story doesn't end with her walking away from Hollywood. It's where it gets even juicier. The rebel who shook Tinseltown vanished at her peak and then reemerged decades later looking like a whole new woman. What's driving her now? Her life after the spotlight is a masterclass in rewriting your own narrative, and the twists keep coming. Buckle up because we're diving into the secrets, struggles, and surprising victories of a star who didn't just survive Hollywood, she outplayed it. Ready for the truth behind her comeback? Back in the 80s, Winger was electric, her raw intensity stealing scenes in Urban Cowboy and Terms of Endearment. But her fiery spirit clashed with Hollywood's Old Boys Club. Her marriage to Timothy Hutton, sparked by a chance Oscars moment in 1981, was a whirlwind. 6-hour talks, stolen glances at glitzy events, and a magnetic pull that finally ignited on New Year's Eve 1986. They wed, dreaming of forever, but a devastating miscarriage just after their wedding plunged Winger into grief. Their son, Noah, arrived in 1987, but their differences, her untamed boldness versus his introspective calm, cracked their bond. By 1988, they split, and her family's disapproval, especially her grandmother's rejection for marrying outside their Jewish faith, deepened the wound. What's wilder? A decade later, they were sharing Thanksgiving with her new husband, proving heartbreak doesn't always mean hate. Then came Arliss Howard, her anchor. They met on Wilder Napalm's set in 1993. No fireworks, just a quiet connection that grew into something unbreakable. Married in 1996, they welcomed son Gideon in 1997, and Winger embraced Howard's son from a prior marriage. Unlike her stormy past, this was steady, real. She once said a good marriage isn't constant bliss. It's choosing the right person. By 1995, exhausted from battling directors, co-stars like Richard Gere and Shirley MacLaine, and Hollywood's relentless push for bland roles, she made a choice. On a trip to Ireland, standing in a green field, she realized, I'm done. She quit acting, moved to a New York farm, and traded call sheets for gardening. But was this retreat a surrender or a power move? You'll want to hear what came next. Her financial game was as bold as her career. Winger's net worth, peaking at $20 million in the 90s, grew from savvy investments, indie film production, stakes in tech startups, and real estate flips. Today, at $16 million, she's leaner but smarter, projecting $18 million by 2030 with her selective projects. Beyond the Porsche and Malibu pad, she owns a minimalist Tesla Model S and a Montana cabin for retreats. Her Patek Philippe watches scream understated wealth. She's got business insurance for her production ventures and health policies, beefed up post her early trauma. Lesson? Diversify early, prioritize passion over paychecks, and always have a backup plan. Her wealth isn't just cash, it's freedom. Curious how she spends it now? Winger's return wasn't loud, but it was undeniable. In 2016, she lit up Netflix's The Ranch as Maggie Raw and Real. Roles in Kajillionaire and Patriot followed, each proving she still owns the screen. Not for fame, but for love of the craft. At 69, her silver curls and scarf-draped looks at 2024's Drive Away Dolls premiere stunned fans. She's not chasing youth, she's embracing time, radiating confidence. Her legacy? Paving the way for actresses like Jennifer Lawrence to demand respect. Rosanna Arquette's 2002 documentary, Searching for Debra Winger, cemented her as a symbol of Hollywood's gender bias fight. Every time an actress says no to a shallow role, Winger's spirit echoes. So, is she a rebel who won? Or a star who walked away? Her story's final hook. She's still writing it, and we're all hooked.